Madison Police Department is investigating a third crash on South Park Street within the last 3 weeks. A man was seriously hurt after a car hit a building this morning. WMTV's Cameron Kelly joins us in studio. And Cameron, police say they've gotten multiple complaints about the area.
Mark, MPD issued 41 citations to drivers on South Park Street who were speeding or not following stop signs alone on Friday. Today, they are looking for what caused the scene that you see behind me. Madison Fire responded around 9 a.m. to the 1700 block of South Park Street after a pickup truck crashed into a building. Crews found a man in his 60s sticking out of the truck, and they safely removed him. MPD's public information officer reminds people to slow down and pay attention on the roads.
We still don't have any condition updates right now, but we do know that there are serious injuries when they were transported. Right now, we're just kind of investigating. There were no signs of impairment. So we're looking into, was this a possible medical event that led to this crash?
Also told me investigators are reviewing evidence for the deadly crash that happened on that same road last Thursday. A 17-year-old MMSD student died on his way to school. More information about that case is expected to be released later this week. Live in studio, Cameron Kelly, WMTV 15 News.
All right, Cameron, thank you. The building in today's crash was checked for damage, but the fire department says there are no structural concerns.